Hey guys, welcome to this update stream. Thanks again for joining us today. As is custom now, we're a bit late, but that's only the way the French do things. Never be first to a party. So thanks to all of you for being here. Now it's cool, now we can show up. We've got a bunch of things to discuss today. Of course, a few features. With me today are joining me, of course, as usual, Space Troll and Amplimat. The co-founders of Amplitude. For those of you who do not remember who I am, I'm here every time. I'm from Frog Squadron, the community person. So let's just dig in. We've got quite a lot of ground to cover. So update 1.018. Mathieu, pardon?
Maybe Mathieu, you start.
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank you for your support on the game. We are very happy, very proud of what we did with Inner Space 2. It's a huge game, our biggest game. It's been long in the making. Sometimes painful, but we always had hope of doing something great in the end, which is the case. So we're very happy with what we did. The team was a bit exhausted at the release, but now some of them had some vacation. So we have survived, hopefully, and we have worked on some more exciting stuff, which we want to explain today.
Like the new patch that we did today, right?
Yes.
Some of the stuff we want to discuss.
Actually, I think it's live already.
Yeah,
right?
it's live. It's been live for about 25 minutes maybe now. So some of you might have questions. We'll discuss some of the cool additions, but the patches are already live.
And actually, some of the bravest among you have tried a fraction of this patch already because it was in preview since last Friday, so you can test the new elements without being announced actually, but there were lots of improvements as well in performance and stability, which you have tested already, I assume. So we can start maybe with the new content because
the updates.
There's a technical aspect in this patch, but also a content aspect.
Yeah, I mean, this basically wanted to make sure that you have some new stuff to hunt. It's mostly geared at the mid game. The idea is you will find maybe a new spatial node, like a neutron star node, and actually if you find it, it should in May actually, because it not always happen, but actually in May trigger a new quest series. With that quest series, you'll be able to find a new hero, a hero that's been around for a long, long time. So I will not spoil you any further, but look for the neutron star and find these new adventures. Well, I'm sorry, I'm just teasing there, but
Mystery.
mystery.
Okay, so
That's part of the update. Then the rest, it's there's a few pages of stuff that we fixed, added, modified.
As well with that hero, we have two new unique planets. So there are Teona and Vale. So we'll go back into more detail on this with Kinrel in a few minutes. But basically, we have a bunch of cool new things that we hope you will like.
And also on the technical side, we have noticed with you, so thanks for your feedback, for your help, for your reports on Steam or the Games Together. But we have noticed indeed performance issues on late turns, on bigger games. We've worked a lot on that, on all the fields of the game, on the AI, on multiplayer, on our internal game simulation, on the way the orders are given into the interface, on visibility computations, influence areas. And actually it was not just finding one improvement, it was working on all the fields, so all the programmers did a terrific job. And actually I had the first report from last weekend with the playtest on the preview version, which was very positive. So I'm really happy with the work which has been done. And now it's the right state to enjoy the game.
It feels really nice.
It's full size actually. So I'm not saying you should put everything to the maximum for your first game, but hopefully it's going to be a very stable and smooth experience this time.
No, we're very happy because we were very ambitious with the game when we designed it originally. We wanted to make it the most ambitious space for X out there, and at least on the experience side, it's beautiful and it's very different. So there's no reason not to enjoy it now. It's just the way we envision it. We're happy.
Okay. I think we have a few modding implements as well. I'm not sure which those are.
So modding was partially present in the game, but there were some missing features, some stuff which was not ideally usable. So we've added more stuff.
Yeah, it's mostly tuning.
You can mod a GUI element now. There were some fixes in
for the
how
visuals,
textures
right?
were reused. and it's interface improvement and stuff like that. So
And we'll keep basically following on that. So it's very important for us that you can mod the way you want, but we have to make sure that to first listen to you guys. There's some very cool stuff that we have down the road on that side. I'm not sure we can reveal everything, but we can do some very cool stuff on the modding side. But again, it will depend on some of your priorities as well.
What we can say, however, is that we have some manual on what's already possible, and they're coming up. I don't know. I think within the next week we're going to be releasing how, like, the things you can already do. We're going to show you how you can do them. So if you've never changed anything into an endless space game and you actually want to, why not give it a try? Well, we're going to show you how.
And there are some examples out there already.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I have to admit, it's a bit complex.
All right. Maybe we can take a few questions.
Yes,
What do
we'd
you
love
guys
Yes.
to. I've seen one with an ETA on fighter bombers. So basically, we can actually talk about the ETA, right, Mathieu? So basically, the idea is we're aiming at. Right now, we are towards the end of the summer, so it will be definitely in the summer. We'll do everything, of course, for that.
So we're working on it. It's starting to become functional.
Yeah.
So we have all the graphical assets. We're working on the animations, evolution of the fighter. So it's not far,
No.
but we need the proper testing and tuning because it's another aspect of battle, and we have to make sure it's balanced correctly.
Yeah, on the design
again.
side, basically, it's not really something we can just add without changing some other stuff. So we need to rebalance a bit things around these new arrivals of the bombers and fighters, how capital ships will behave towards that, how defenses will behave with them. So they will change a bit of the balance, and we'll need to change a few things around, but it will be a lot of fun.
Okay. Next question. Let's see if we've got some.
Sorry, I had
Someone's
to
saying,
get
are the
clear.
Drakens a mutation of humans? That sounds really weird. I don't know where you've read that stuff, but don't hesitate to follow up on Twitter or something. Just send me where you found that thing, because that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, I could say no, basically. The answer is
A question: could be some mods included in the game in the future?
That's not really how we do things. So you mean that you have an official mods that, for example, like some modders have done some stuff, and we
And then
put
we
them in the
integrate
game?
them by default in the game?
Yes, we've done that in the past actually. So that basically it's not a mod in itself. It's like we take some features done by the modders with the agreement of the modder, and we can modify some of the stats that we have. So we did that on Endless Space 1, and I'm not sure if we did that on Legend, but I know we did that on Endless Space 1 with some very cool ways to balance the games that some of our players had, and with our authorization, we moved that to the game.
Okay.
Okay.
Next question. We're waiting actually, because there's none yet. Okay. Curious why Volters are not in the game when they seem to be the poster child for the series. Sorry if you've been asked this before. Well, only 1 million times, so 1.5 million first. Anyone wants to take that one? I can take that one.
We agree, they are really, really, really cool guys. So
It would be great to have them.
well,
in
it
the
would be
game.
great to have them in the game, but they're not in the game yet. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, basically, we always have to, make sure that we keep some of the factions of the first Endless Space to actually, keep some room for the new guys, because, new game means also new factions to discover, new lore, new insight into the way the game works, and of course, a new spot for the new G2G faction. So if we kept the United Empire, which is really one of the most basic pillars of Endless Space and its character, and then we add the Volters on top, it's like a lot of humans for the start of the game. So that's the reason we went with the United Empire, especially considering that they share the same story. If you played the United Empire quest, and if you know Endless Legend, you will know that they share a history.
Question from Varak about the Riftborn. I think you said it doesn't seem finished because of some balance issues with the planets. They're colonizing on the sterile planets. So it's still this kind of balance issues. It's stuff we are still hunting. We're trying to look at also some of the behaviors of players through stats basically, and see how they fare. So far they seem to fare quite well, but we'll make sure that even though they are on sterile planets, they can still do as well as the others. So anyway, it's to be followed.
I think we have a very relevant question. Are the Lost more sexy than the Vodiani? I don't know exactly what it means.
If
By
we know
sex
what the
appeal, you
Lost
mean?
look like, really. So
Okay. Okay, any other questions?
Well, just about that, I think there is one that's interesting as well. Right now, I feel that there is very little busy work in this game besides microing populations around. Do you have any plan around that? I could
Do
say
you
that
mean
was-
having
so-
more micromanagement
Yeah.
in the game?
I think that's the opposite of what we try to do generally with design,
Yeah.
because especially when you have a long game, and those games, you know, you can be playing for like 6-10 hours. It's usually not the most
Yeah,
fun thing.
I totally agree with you. It's normally what we would want to do if when we notice that we do repetitive actions that are not fun, we try to hunt for them and try to remove them or find ways to on a later stage of the game to automate this kind of actions. So no, micromanagement is not really what we want to achieve with the game. If that was a question.
What plans do you have to change how trading companies work, if any?
I think we have to agree it's not the best part of the game yet. So it's
The result is very interesting,
Yeah,
but it's a bit complex
but
maybe to
some,
use.
some stuff doesn't feel as we envisioned at first. We envisioned having an empire, a trade empires, that you have to negotiate. Your trade outposts. You would have to benefit from going through empires. Have to go around wars. Have to maybe buy out your oppositions. Stuff we didn't do in the game. But there've been some cool stuff that we had in mind. The result we have yet is it's okay, it does the job, but yeah, I agree. We could give some love to that section of the game.
And
So maybe-
obviously we were working on this game for a very long time,
Yeah.
so it's
And
not
this is
impossible that we improve this.
Oh, no, and there's still a long time of improvements
Yeah.
to come. So it could be
Yeah, there was a related question on the economy. Obviously, as I think I mentioned in the forum earlier today, we're still working on the economy. It's a very big piece because, as the person who was asking pointed out, it affects many other systems of the game. Production and so your capacity to go to war and that stuff. So we're gonna keep working on it, but it's gonna take time because any change you're gonna be doing is gonna affect the rest of the game dramatically.
Mhm.
So the answer is yes, but it will take time. There is another question. It's related to the upgrade to Deluxe Edition, Digital Deluxe. It was on the store. It's disappeared for now. We're working on getting it back. So yes, it will come back.
Okay.
Next question. Will we ever get an RPG based in the Endless Universe? It's only the first time today I see that question. So
the answer we always give to this one is like when we have $100 million, maybe we'll think about doing the dream RPG, that we
Very
want to
sexy, very appealing,
Yeah,
but dispersion.
do. The problem with an RPG, we would love to do an RPG. It would be amazing, but it's huge basically type of game to do. If we were to do it, it wouldn't be linear. It would be on huge worlds and. So we would love to do it, and the universe, the Endless Universe, would be a great universe to do an RPG. Definitely, I agree.
Okay.
There's a question that actually, if you'd read the patch notes, you'd have the answer to. Shipbound custom factions can gain population through quests and events. Is this intended? No, and now it's fixed. It cannot happen anymore. So yay, you cannot have a Haroshen just appearing out of nowhere in the middle of your arc and just being like, you know what, this is my spot now. You guys can just go away. So yeah, this is fixed. Next question: would it possible to be adding, like you did in the Tempest DLC, a giant Leviathan appearing somewhere in the sea, maybe a space Leviathan?
Okay,
Ooh.
so it's a question that comes back very often. So far, we always avoided having space monsters, in our universe. We don't see basically space monsters in the Endless Universe, so that's why we don't really have that so far. Instead, we have a lot of creatures coming from planets that could go into space and do a lot of stuff. Other creatures could be really crazy on these planets. We still have an issue with space Leviathan, although you do have trees in space, so that's already first step in that direction. So we should never say never, but so far it's not part of the universe.
There is a question on end-game screens that could be made more interesting. Actually, I think we have something for that plan, but it's I don't know. You guys want to take that one?
I'm not sure about that.
So
yes, it's your field, so.
Yeah. No, so basically, it's they are not rewarding. Basically, not rewarding the way we would want them to be. They're interesting. They share a lot of information for what you did, but it's not rewarding. So it is another field we can totally improve, over time. We can do better. We had a lot of plans also with Amplimath and the rest of the team of stuff to do to reward you for your game and remind you what happens throughout the game and the heights of your games. So and basically to make the whole moment where the game is finished, whether you won or lost, rewarding. That's also why we said to add a few little videos at the end to at least put you in the mood, which is not really what we had on the previous game. So for us, it's a big step forward to make it at least beautiful to look at before having the stats. But yes, the whole moment when the game is finishes could get a little love.
Okay, we're gonna take I think a couple more questions, and then we're gonna release these people to dive into the content that we're adding itself.
Is it possible that some minor faction will become major faction at some point?
Yes.
Yes, it's possible.
Yeah.
I don't know which faction you were thinking about, but anyway, it's.
Is it the same one that you were thinking about?
Yeah, it's possible.
Okay.
Lore questions.
Hold
Do
on.
Lumeris lay eggs or give live birth?
Yeah, we need slow hands for that one. I have no idea about the reproductive system of the Lumeris, and I think that's a disturbing question.
Are they laying eggs or giving live birth?
I have no idea. They could
It's a
actually
mystery.
be ovoviviparous. They lay eggs that are actually babies alive inside. I don't know. That's we're gonna ask slow hands. Now I want
we
to
know how the Horatio does,
Yes.
Yeah.
but
Yes.
not for the Lumeris, I suppose. Okay.
Okay. Let's just take one last question.
Slow hand. We'll get back to you on that one. Okay. So brainstorm needed. Okay.
Boo, boo, boo.
Okay, guys. Are we? Are we okay for the questions?
Let's see. There were some here.
Because you have more cinematic content in this game, like a lot more cinematic content in the game. You want to kill us? Okay.
Because in our opinion, cinematic content was
it's a lot more
huge
than
compared
to
to
what we did
NSA.
before. And the thing is, I don't know what you guys think of the cinematic content that we have so far in the game for the introductions, for the special events. Even in a way, the release trailer for me, it's also content around the game. It's still, it's stuff we spend a lot of time on. It's not like we do that in 10 minutes. It's a lot of effort.
Yes,
for us,
it has
so
to fit in the universe and to be consistent with the rest of the
I
game.
mean, we can spend like hours discussing on one image, on the music, on the mixing, the writing, slow hands. Like rewrote 10 times, every single one of this, cinematic content that you have in the game. So it's a huge effort, but so we'll add more. That's for sure, because we want to extend the game, and by extending the game, we have to obviously to create more content. But it's not. I don't think we'll add more cinematic content on existing content. For example, I don't see us adding for the Vodiani a new cinematic content, for example. That's. I mean, maybe that's possible, but it's not planned. And it's not the vision we had so far.
Okay. Do you guys want to take that last one, or are we good to go?
Is there any plans to make customizable victory conditions? For example, that one?
Yeah, because I think the examples are pretty much basic modding. It's just increasing the cost of some things. But as to making victory conditions customizable, what do you guys think?
It's not planned.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Alright.
That's a short answer. But
It's
it's interesting.
not planned, but I suppose that as we can activate or deactivate some victory condition, I guess we could add a slider,
A box or
maybe
slider.
a difficulty slider on each one.
Yeah.
So it's not impossible.
Mm.
But I guess we can discuss about that on the
Yeah.
game together.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, as
see
usual,
what everyone
if by hearing us you have an idea or something, don't hesitate to suggest it in the ideas section on the Games Together. Right now, Space Roll and Medoc, who's usually here with us, the designer, are doing a pass on the ideas. And
I think I had a pass on all the ones with 400,000 points and more, a bit more than 400,000 points and more, and we'll keep doing that in the next couple of days, I think.
Okay, so get your ideas in and make sure your friends vote for them so that we can see them. Okay, so that's it, I think, for the questions for now. Don't if you have other questions, don't hesitate to ask them directly on Twitter or Facebook, and we'll do our best to answer. We have something special we've prepared for you, and we'll get back to you in a moment with Kinrail on the design. So thanks.
Thank
Bye-bye,
you
guys.
and
Thank
enjoy
you.
the game. Bye.
Okay, welcome back. Thanks for thanks for waiting, guys. It's been a bit hectic because we haven't been using this setup in a while, and we have a whole bunch of new stuff that we haven't really put together before. So yeah, that took a bit more time than planned. But we're back. So we have a bunch of things to show you. Most specifically, we're gonna focus on the new content. We're gonna start with the, I think, I don't know. Let's just start with the new planets, the
new
unique
planet
planets.
sounds good, yeah.
Okay, so let's start with Theona, I guess. Theona is, of course, as I was mentioning earlier, the unique planet of the Bagaba, who are a minor civilization of the game, a new one from Endless Phase 2. Do you want to tell us about?
I'll take this. So hi, I'm Kinrael.
Oh yeah, he's
That's
this guy.
important.
Some of you may have seen him from the United Empire stream, I think. That was the...
Horatio.
Oh, okay.
I
Oh
think
yeah,
it was
Horatio,
a Horatio stream. Yes, I'm working as a designer. So the two unique planets we're bringing for this update is first off the Youngher that Frog Squadron was starting to present, which is the Bagaba's main home planet. It's a planet that's mainly focused on influence, like the Bagabas are. So it's something you want to get into your empire if you're going for that influence build. And we've also got a mysterious planet called Veil, which is a Terran planet with nothing special on the surface, but there are rumors of something underneath, dust cannons and old technology. This one is more focused on food and dust and can be harmful in many situations.
Okay, so yeah, the thing with Veil is that basically on the surface, and if you just look at it in game, it will look like a normal Terran planet. But if you press space, if you activate the scan view, you will see that it's pretty different from the other planets. So, question: if the Bagaba are in the game, will they be settled on this planet?
That's a very good question, and they won't. The unique planet is usually spawned after, but as you know, there can be many Bagaba systems and minor factions in one game. So that's just like the canon home planet of the Bagabas, but they probably won't spawn on it.
Okay. Moving on, let's see the neutron star, I guess.
Yeah, let's get on to
All
the
right.
next
So
one.
this is a new node. So
Yeah.
a node is different from a system in that it doesn't have planets, and it's something you can not conquer, but it can be under your influence if your neighboring system actually cover it within their sphere of influence.
Exactly.
So do you want to tell me about the neutron
so
star?
the neutron star, well, first off, a neutron star is a very dense star that is collapsing. It's not a collapsing star, but it's like the end state, which keeps irradiating energy and waves and all that. So what it does, if you've got it under your influence, is give you a bonus of science and influence per population. So this is a new type of bonus we're trying out with special nodes, which scales accordingly to your system that has it, basically. Usually it's only a flat bonus.
Uh-huh.
We wanted to try something new and see how it works out.
So is it going to be overpowered? That's the fear.
It might be, it might
Hopefully
be.
not. But
Hopefully
tell
not,
us
yeah.
what you think.
Yeah.
As usual, your feedback in all situations, including balance, is very important to us. So if you find a way to really break it, make it the game
Please tell
changer,
us.
let us know about it. Like don't be that person who's holding on to their advantage to win all the games. Just tell us. Okay, what's the last thing? I guess we have
There's one more thing about the neutron star.
Oh, yeah.
Like all special nodes, when you fight on it, you've got a special battle arena. In this case, all shields disappear. So basically, if you go into battle with like a shield build, well, your ships aren't going to last very long. So that's something to take into account.
Okay, so it's really like it is the best way to play with lasers and
Yeah,
beams.
exactly.
That's
You
the
want
place
to
you wanna
go for
fight.
lasers and beams against someone on a neutron star.
Okay, all right. So next,
Next.
I guess we could probably show the battle on the neutron star.
Yeah,
No, let's actually no. Let's just keep the game thing for later. We have the last thing. I guess would be the hero. Do you want to talk about the hero maybe? Oh no, the hero is in the game as well. Let's
Yeah.
just hop onto the game.
Yeah, that'll be easier.
So, of course, this is a save we've created just for you guys. And by the magic of the internet, it is now appearing on your screens. So let's zoom in. We have some, basically we just have the neutron star somewhere in here, and in just a moment we'll see it on your screen. Yes, okay. And now we have a fight that we can show you happening around this neutron star. Let's just get it rolling. We're gonna find a neutron star. So a thing that some of you who've been here with us from the get-go probably remember, it's M29 here. Yeah, it's that it's not us. We're doing this without the hands. It's Etienne who's always hiding, but without whom we wouldn't be able to do any of this. Who's actually handling the game for us right now. So he's found the neutron star. He's found the fleets. We're ready for action. I guess it's time to get rolling.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's select a play, blah, 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 the usual. Make sure we have watch set up. Oh, the game is in French. That's interesting. Okay, I guess this is any of these would do. Okay, let's go. Someone is asking pulsar. I do not know the difference between a neutron star and a pulsar. I think they're pretty similar.
That's a very good question. It might be different states of the same star.
I think they're awful things that just irradiate everything that is around. So bad things to be around, like terrible vacation destinations.
So you can see the battle going on. The neutron star probably avoided any shield.
Yeah, so if you're not seeing any of the shield interactions, that's one of the reasons why. Okay, so of course the neutron star is the beautiful blue thing. Basically, at both poles you have the radiation bit. The thing you have to know is that a neutron star basically rotates on itself a tremendous amount
like thousands of times per second. No, it's like so.
Oh, okay. Well, it's really awful. So the thing is, in order not to give you guys seizures, we had to just do away with that bit of actually physics and just keep what it looks like if it's stuck on the slide.
So you can see here the Cravers are mostly equipped with projectile weapons, while the United Empire was based on missiles and lasers, which seems to be going in their favor for now.
Okay, you clearly know a lot more about this battle than I do. Does neutron have theater effects? Yes, as we were mentioning, no shields at all on the neutron star. So it's a terrible place to be if your enemy is using lasers. No, even over epic space battles.
That's good.
Oh, that's way better. Okay. As we mentioned earlier, as for fighters and bombers, they will be joining us closer to the end of summers. We'll be discussing them more when we have more stuff to show in terms of gameplay. Oh, the game sounds really loud. Okay. I guess the battle's over pretty much.
Yeah. So we can see the United Empire won, mostly.
Your actions threaten the Hive.
Okay, so for those of you who missed what we were talking about, basically the theater has effects. The effects are no shields for all battles taking place in this area, what else did we mention?
So we were talking about how the United Empire were equipped with beams and missiles, whereas the Cravers were mostly equipped with the projectile kinetic weapons, which didn't work in their favor. And we can see that the United Empire tore through the Craver fleet.
Okay. Yeah. And someone had a question about fighters and bombers. Fighters and bombers will be joining us closer to the end of summer, and we will be sharing information when we have it. Basically, we want to make sure that it's right. We have all the visuals and everything. We've already shared some of these back a few weeks. But as for the rest, stay tuned. So what else have we got that we could be talking about?
Maybe the heroes?
Yes, let's see the heroes, of course. So we have unlocked the heroes actually. So if we just go to the hero screen, you'll see that there are some faces that are not familiar. So the first one will be, of course, let's start with that guy. What can you tell us about the skill tree of?
So this guy.
Okay, how do you? First off, we have a contest in the studio. No one except Jeff, except
Yeah.
Slowhands, who's in the chat with us, is really sure how to pronounce this.
I have no idea.
We
how to
have some
pronounce it.
theories. Actually, Amplimat, who was here with
Yeah.
us earlier, said that you had to say it the Klingon way.
Yeah.
That was tiach, stiach, or something like
yeah,
this.
I don't know how to speak Klingon, so that's going to be a tough one.
Okay, so
Tiagsiliak.
yeah, that's another
Tiaxi.
theory. So tell us about it.
So he's the endless hero we get through the quest that you unlock with the neutron star. So he's a seeker that's an ecologist and also benefits from the endless skill tree that you could also get from the special hero Royarin Cirrus in the Kraver main quest lore. So his starting skills are a free movement boost and vision range boost for fleet command,
Oh, okay, that's
and
pretty
a
good.
bonus of science per anomaly if he's governing a system. So that's something that you can either go this scientist route or really explore the galaxy and take care of that.
Okay.
The endless skill tree has mostly beam bonuses, exploration bonuses and stuff like that. It's a very technological based skill tree. I think most players might have tried the hero in the Kraver quest line, so that's already a point of reference.
Okay. Do you want to let's move over to the other hero,
Yeah.
who's the Kraver's Prime hero. Basically, this one is for the Kraver's Prime
Yeah.
faction, who are basically I want like Uber Kravers. They're the Kravers, but if you actually just spent a little more budget to make them look shiny, as opposed to just
Bigger
going about your
armors,
way.
more gold and all that. So yeah, he's an industrialist supervisor who benefits from the Kraver skill tree and the administrator skill tree. So if you can go in maybe to check out the skill tree.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that?
So he's the Kraver hero, as we said. So he can give experience per turn and also have a bonus on vision range. And that's something you can use to take advantage of exploration early in the game if you unlock him early in the game. You've also got a bonus of industry as he's an industrialist to really boost your systems and make the most out of them.
Okay. And I see someone went to the Hellfest with a Beer Together t-shirt from Amplitude
That's
from one of
nice.
our Beer Togethers. So we're basically our events where we just invite the community to hang out with us and drink beer. And someone recognized it. It could have been one of our artists actually, because some of them went to the Hellfest, so it could have been them undercover. What else? What's next? I think that pretty much covers it.
Yeah, I
I
think
guess.
that covers it.
Yeah, we can take a couple of questions, I guess.
Yeah.
If you have questions about the design of the hero or something like this, questions more specific to this update. Otherwise, we'll just let you guys play the new update because, of course, it's already available. So,
Yeah,
shoot,
sure.
let's see. Do you want to sing something while we wait for questions?
I'd rather not, no.
Okay, well, that's probably for the best.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Any reference to the concrete in Endless Phase 2? The concrete Endless. Basically, of course, for those of you who are not sure, the concrete are the other faction of the Endless in the Civil War against the Virtual. While Slowhands is in the chat, so he'd probably be the one best suited to answer that question. Ginger Host, I like your shirt, dude. Thank you. This is a Sarah Numas t-shirt. It's from Dungeon of the Endless. I really, really like it.
Will the new unique planet be present in every game? Well, as we have quite a lot of unique planets, and basically they get generated or not when you start a new game.
Yeah.
So it might not be in it, but it might. So go ahead, explore your galaxy and find out.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Will we get new customizations for heroes' ships that are all the damn spaceship with a bit of variance? Maybe pen job specific to the factions. As far as I know, this is not in the plans. Of course, once we show you how to mod this, you will be able to do it
Probably.
yourself if that's the kind of stuff you're into. Considering that I have seen the possibilities even with basic software like Blender, and you can already do stuff that is pretty crazy. I have seen some camouflage versions of the Craverse, and although it was a slapdash job that was just made to show me how it worked, it was very convincing. It didn't look like the thing it was. That is something that just took 10 seconds, like, oh, look, you can just do this. It looked like a professional skin. So yeah. If you want to put Nicolas Cage on all your ships,
Well.
you will be able to do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't. No, that wouldn't really be a great
Okay,
idea.
don't
I
do
mean,
that
if it's
then.
if it's like your favorite actor or something, go ahead. There was a question previously.
Will there be unique planetary quests like there were in Endless Space one? Possibly. I mean,
That's a
there
good
are already
idea.
some quests linked to specific planets, like Sakagoya, I think. But it's more, as far as I remember for that planet, it's more like trying to find it because it's a planet that has insane bonuses. So the problem with those is that it's really a lot of constraints because the game has to have generated this planet, and then only one guy gets to have the chance
Yeah.
to interact with that quest. So it's not optimal, but yes, there are some in the game already. Will we see the Earth as a turn planet in the game at any point? Okay, I'll take that one. Well, no, this is the Endless
Yeah, it's the
Universe.
Endless
The
Universe.
Endless Universe means that the Earth is not in there. It's different kind of humans. They look the same, they interact the same, they have the same beards and hairstyles, but they're absolutely not the same people, and they don't come from Earth. So
we do
no-
have
no
Trappist one.
We do have Trappist one. That is, I hate you for bringing that up. That was more of an Easter egg, like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
god, this is so great.
Maybe there's a rift somewhere. Who knows? I
Actually,
won't say anything. That's
if you guys want the story behind Trappist one being in the game, that's due to Etienne, who's
Yeah.
the technical guy here, because he was the one who just made the image that we just loved, and we're like, okay, we have to add this in the game now. It's a thing.
It worked very
It has
well.
to exist. So, that's just because sometimes we have a good idea, it just catches on. Where can we find the lore of the Endless World? Well, basically, we are more along the way of, showing and not telling. So a lot of it is scattered, in the games, should I say. Some of it is available in lore videos if you want to see Slow Hands talk about things, explain or just describe factions and features. So I would say you should totally check our YouTube channel. Hopefully one of the mods or Slow Hands himself can share it in the chat. We have a whole bunch of stuff there, but of course I would say that the best place to discuss lore and get all the details would be on our forums, because we have some people who've read everything, watched everything, done all the quests, and are crazy good at remembering minute details that we've forgotten. So if you want to discuss with the best authorities on endless lore, gamestogether.com.
Yeah, there are a lot of interesting discussions on that.
We already had the question about the harmony and the solvers, so
Yeah.
I refer you to the history of this chat where Slow Hands answered that question. Actually, he just answered you again. Do we have the game engine tech to connect to an alternate universe, like say the Riftborn universe? I do not think we would connect, if we were to connect to a different universe, to the Riftborn universe per se, because then they would be at a massive advantage knowing that they come from that place, so they kind of rule the place. And also it's well, no spoilers, but it's not going well. Things are going terribly over there. You don't want to be going there. Okay, let's just grab a couple more maybe and go.
Era 4 higher constructions are very weak yet very expensive. Any plans to overhaul them? Well, we've worked a lot on global economy of the game, and there might still be some places where it's not quite right yet. So please come over to the forums so you can drop in your 2 cents and we can get to work on it. It's something we try to improve throughout the time, and we'll keep on improving.
Okay, and somebody had a question about Pacific capture of systems. Well, we've toned that down quite a bit, I think. So I think you should give it a try now and let us know if this is something that's still affecting you. and we'll look into it. Especially, I think what would be very interesting for us if you have a game in which that's happening a lot would be that you share that save,
Yeah,
so we
that
can
would help
see
a lot.
in which conditions actually you ended up with a game that triggered moments in which the AI or somebody else could take over your systems too easily. And yeah, okay, the sex thing of the luminaries reproduction
keeps
is in
to-
Jeff said. Yeah, you guys have been going on about this. It's deeply unsettling, I have to say.
Definitely. Still.
Yeah, I'm gonna dodge all the questions about features of factions or anything at this stage because you should have asked those when the bosses
Oh.
were here. Those were the
Yeah.
guys who could have answered things.
An interesting question. How do you decide on starting bonuses for heroes and which heroes should start on planets or go exploring? Well, when we design starting bonuses, we think about what kind of style we want to give the hero as a fleet commander or a governor. Of course, he'll have a certain tendency to either be a governor or an admiral according to his skills and skill trees. Like for example, a seeker will be better as a fleet commander to explore and all that. So once we know what kind of hero we want him to be, then we decide like we want to reinforce basic industry or we reward the player for building something or for increasing his system. And then, so the second part of the question is which heroes should start on planets or go exploring?
Yeah.
Well, to take that decision, you should always check which kind of skill tree the hero has and how he can improve himself in the field you're choosing. A lot of heroes can do both, but then it's up to what kind of specific skills you want to put into action.
I see a couple more questions. Like we're just gonna wrap this up here. So SLA is for Apple. I'm sorry, we're not gonna answer that question. Although it's really interesting, I think you should ask it on the forums, whether the Steam forums or even better on the Games Together, so other can weigh in. Whose idea was the comics? It's Arkel. We actually have published a couple of blogs linking to a forum thread in which he's happy to answer your questions and will be even happier for you to drop feedback. So if you love the comics, or even if you just like them and were like, you know what, it's cool, go and tell him because he was the one pushing the project from its inception, and he's the one who's found all these very talented artists to work with us. So share the love. And finally, some news about the Endless Universe art book. We're still on it, guys. Promise. It's not forgotten. It's just taking some time, but we're still hard at work on that. Can we get a weekly stream? Well, actually, that's kind of the plan. Maybe not some